Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, the original. So this is actually a video that I've had to remake. Now, I think 6 years later, because YouTube took the original down. I think what happened here was maybe I was like too descriptive in what Sephiroth had done here, and I think that triggered some sort of my best guess here is there's YouTube has policies regarding the glorification of violence, and I think I may have just been like too descriptive in what he had done here. So unfortunately, the video got pulled down. I reviewed the old video before it got pulled down, and it didn't actually really look like it was that bad. But that's the best I can. Think of. But anyways, now 6-7 years later, however long it's been since I originally played, I have to say, the Final Fantasy VII remake is amazing. There's always going to be something about the classic that is enjoyable and fun to play. But but I do have to say the remake is really good as well. As far as the events here in this video, this is really just finishing out the rest of the Shinra headquarters. It's kind of funny how quickly actually I made it through to this point, because I had to play the game all the way from the beginning. But I was able to get here pretty quickly. That said, as far as this point in the game, I actually kind of thought of some things too that I don't know that I originally had. And that's that at this point you've got the cover materia, and it's a pretty solid plan actually to have Eris with that cover materia and in the back row. Reason for that is she's going to take hits for the allies, and boost up her limit break, which then she can just use to heal everybody for free. So kind of one of the things that I did here to prepare. I don't know if I had done that in the previous videos. I looked at the video previous to this to kind of try to figure out exactly where I was at so that I could remake this, but I'm not really sure how I was set up by any means, but and also prior to this, unfortunately though, a lot of the enemies kind of disappear. So it's kind of like basically when you get on the elevator with one of the Turks, I think that was Rude. That's when the enemy, the enemies kind of change in here. So. Good idea to grab those carbon bangles beforehand, as well as Cloud's Hard Edge. That weapon is, pretty solid. But, anyways. So here we're just heading up to, is this floor 70, I think? Where the Shinra has been found. Obviously, Sephiroth paying him a visit. But it's still weird, though. Like, why would he leave his sword? That seems unlikely. Sephiroth can use that sword. Who cares who did it? It's the end of the Shinra now. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, and then here's that little creep Palmer. Oh, please, don't kill me. What happened? Sephiroth came. Did you see him? Did you see Sephiroth? I saw him. I saw him with my own eyes. You really saw him? Would I lie to you at a time like this? Saying something about not letting us have the promised land. Then, I mean, that the promised land really exists. Are you a good guy then? Save the promised land? Sephiroth? No way. It's not that simple. I zipped through this dialogue too quickly. Rufus, I forgot about him. Who's that? Man, that chopper's looking rough. President Rufus, the president's son. Yeah, so much for the end of Shinra, huh? That he's been assigned somewhere. I only know his name, what kind of person he is. I've heard that no one's ever seen him bleed or cry. They're really building him up here. And he is a creep here from the dialogue here. Cloud, soldier first class. I'm from Avalanche. Same here. Oh, a flower girl from the slums. A research specimen. Yeah, he's asking whoever it is. What a crew. What a crew indeed. Yeah, we're not exactly cool like the Turks, right? President, because your old man died. Is that how it would really work at Shinra? That's right, I'll let you hear my new appointment speech. I'm trying to control the world with money. It seems to have been working. The population thought that Shinra would protect them. Get Shinra, get your pay. If a terrorist attacks, the Shinra army will protect you. It's perfect from the outside, but I do things differently. Control the world with fear. It takes too much to do it like my old man. Okay, a little fear will control the minds of the common people. There's no reason to waste what resource on them. Likes to make speeches like his father. Get out of this building with Eris. What? Explain later, Barrett. It's the real crisis for the planet. What the hell is that supposed to be? I'll tell you later. Just take my word for it now. I'll go after I take care of him. Alright, Cloud. Alright, so the first battle here is... I think it's Eris, Barrett, and Red? Or is it Tifa, Barrett, Red? I can't remember. We'll see here in a second. Actually, yeah, maybe you can even choose. Oh, no you can't. It's going to get pretty ugly from here on. We should check our crew. Alright, so Cloud and Tifa's... It's actually a good idea to remove their materia because you'll be able to just put it on right after this. I went with leave it as it is, which was probably not that smart. Yeah, it really wasn't. What I needed to do was have an attack materia on Red and an attack materia on Eris. Barrett doesn't need it because he can at least still use his attack command, but the problem with the next boss is that you can't use like melee attacks. So basically I think Eris just kind of stood around and healed, which whatever is fine. And then I nuked with Red, and again used Barrett's just regular attack command. And then you need to run out here to the elevators, and on the elevator is where the battle actually happens. I thought that I'm trying to think if this boss is exactly the same in the remake. I don't think it is though. I think this battle actually happens in the lobby, if I remember correctly. And it was a really fun battle. Again, the remake is just it's very different because the battles are just completely active, and a lot of it is it's just the battles are more complicated. Like it's probably like a 10-minute battle at least, whereas you can I think I knocked this out in a minute or two. But, yeah, anyways, like I said, unfortunately no melee attacks here, so Red and Eris just have to kind of sit back and use spells, which, again, no big deal, because I at least remembered to put some magic on Red. Eris, though, honestly, I probably should have had her defending on a lot of these turns, because she's not, doing anything. Also, I noticed, or one thing that I also could have done was to boost everybody's limit breaks by using the hyper item. I wish I would have done that. That would have made this probably a little bit faster too. The nice thing is that, I mean, for one thing, we're not using melee attacks here, so we're not really having to worry about the accuracy, which with the hyper condition actually makes you a little bit less accurate. But again, it's really just about boosting up the limit gauges via damage, and also that Eris will be able to crank out more heals if the limit gauge was filling up more quickly as well. So kind of wish I would have done that here, but I'm rusty. I haven't played this this in 7 years. Something like that. So. Weak against light. Yeah, and there you have it. Weak against lightning too. So really should have stripped Cloud and Tifa's materia here. I believe Cloud's got the lightning materia. Also, maybe just even having more copies of it. I don't know in my initial the original footage here. I don't know what I had as far as materia, but you know, and honestly, really early on, you can buy more lightning materia, and there's so many enemies and bosses in this first portion of the game here, within Midgar, where just a lot of those enemies are weak against lightning. So, again, I'm not exactly sure how I had everybody set up, but definitely would have benefited from having some more lightning materia on these characters. So, you know, it's one of those deals, though. A little rusty. It's been too long. But, yeah, anyways. And of course, you know, I had a user comment, of course, ran across this series, and I mean, I think this video got pulled down a month ago, and it kind of was bothering me. I was like, man, do I want to just leave a gap in my videos? And of course, the nature of me and my like OCD, it was kind of bugging me, and then you know, I read the comment, you know, that a user had thrown in here a couple of days ago, and I was like, yeah, I know it's gone. So yeah, I'm finally getting around to actually getting it, or you know, putting one back up here. I don't think that these bosses have any steals. I'm really, yeah, I don't think that they do. So I don't think that's really something that you need to worry about. I do know some of these guys have some good drops, though. Rufus coming up has a drop or two. He's got I think a guard source and then something else, which is always kind of nice, right? An actual stat item is always kind of fun to see. Which also made me remember the different enemies that you can farm, you know, like sources from, right? And I eventually do that later on in the walkthrough, but. You know, it's just kind of fun to see them popping up here and there. And I actually did what I normally don't do, which is to actually use one early on. It's funny too, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if you can save that guard source, not use it right now, and then go into the... I don't remember which... It's near the church, so I don't know which are those sector 6 or sector 7 slums. I'm not sure, but anyways, there's an enemy there that'll steal, and there's a glitch in this game where, and I don't remember the ins and outs of it, but I vaguely remember something like you let the enemy steal from you. And then you, like, I don't know, you must have, like, potions set up in your inventory specifically, or, like, in a specific way. And if you move them around, when you kill the enemy and get your item back, you'll have, like, 99 of them. And again, I don't remember off the top of my head exactly how that process works. Again, I'm pretty rusty now, but... actually, yeah, it might be the W item, isn't it? Yeah, so that wouldn't be available for a very long time now that I'm thinking about it. Because, yeah, I think that's something that you gotta do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's with that W item materia, so... but yeah, again, unfortunately, that's not gonna be available for quite some time. And my guess is, there's Mind Blow. Apparently I used Barrett's Limit break enough time there. But yeah, anyways, alright, so now actually we can actually swap up Cloud's gear, and again, that's why I should have stripped Cloud and Tifa a little while ago, right? Because we're going to be able to re-equip him at this point anyway, and, I mean, I don't know, I didn't put much thought into this. I thought that, I mean, this was going to be, I knew it was going to be pretty easy, so. Why do you want to fight him? You seek the Promised Land in Sephiroth. Exactly. Know what that Sephiroth is an ancient? Well, this happened anyway. I can't let either you or Sephiroth get the promised land. See, guess this means we won't be friends. Yeah, not going to be friends. At least not yet. If you have seen Advent Children, then it's questionable whether or not. I mean, they probably wouldn't admit to being actual friends, but I do believe Rufus ends up working together with Cloud. If you can call it that. They have a interesting relationship. Which great movie. I watched that. I wouldn't say recently. It's been a while, but yeah, just oh, anyway, so here smoked his little dog buddy there with the limit break. You know, it would have been nice actually to come in here with a fill limit break gauge and actually smoke that dog right away. I don't know if I've ever tried it or if it's even possible, but maybe if you're quick enough with that limit break gauge, maybe you can get the dog down before he buffs Rufus. I'm not sure, but here at this point, I think it's every time you try to attack him, he retaliates with his, well, maybe not every time, he didn't there. But there he's retaliating with shotgun. And, you know, that's fine because that just is really filling up his limit gauge. So it looks like sometimes he just laughs and he doesn't do anything. Yeah, I guess that's your chance to, like heal up if you're looking a little rough. But that's it for today. You know, and so obviously I've got the hard edge on him. I also did, I stole some carbon bangles earlier, and I know I did that in my initial, or with my initial footage as well. So there's the Protect Vest and the Guard Source. Protect Vest is a accessory. Yeah, I probably should have had a hyper on Cloud as well. I really like those items. I like that the Fury status effect, right? Which again boosts up your limit gauge. It's just so useful because, for one thing, limits are brutal, and then on top of that, just using your limit breaks, you know, more often, especially those. If you've only got your tier 1, you know, it takes, I think it's like 8 uses of that limit break in order to unlock the second tier, or the second level. So, if Rufus couldn't finish him, things are gonna get complicated. All right, heading downstairs with the other crew. Yeah, so this is, I think it's basically here in this lobby that boss fight actually happens in the remake. And yeah, anyways, I hate to keep bringing it up because we're just playing the classic here, but they've made some really good changes to the remake, and as far as I can tell, my assumption here is that the storyline's not going to be the same. So basically, it seems at least, or feels like a bit of an appropriate time to bring it up, right? Because basically in the remake, for the most part, the events have been very similar. Obviously, there's some tweaks that they've made here and there as far as the story goes. But like the big part is that I feel like they've set it up so that the events from here, or actually honestly, the events from the end of this video are completely different. And I guess actually it's more this next boss. The stuff that happens after the next boss is brand new, and my expectation is that the storyline from that point on is going to be completely different than. I mean, maybe you'll probably go to the same areas and stuff, or at least some similar areas. But as far as the storyline goes, I think it's going to be very, very different. And that's pretty exciting. Really looking forward to the next installment of the remake. So that's going to be fun. But all right, Here's one of the fun parts of the classic, although I mean it was fun in the remake as well. But basically the motorbike, game. It's one of those deals where once you get the hang of this, it's not too difficult. But I'll be honest, I struggled here. Some of the basically the orange motorcycles are really, really easy to take down. They're very predictable in as far as what they're trying to do. But the red ones are smarter. They really react very well to what you're doing. Wow, is that right? I had almost 5 hours on this. That didn't feel like 5 hours to get here. I don't know if that's right. Maybe it is though. Maybe that did take 5 hours. Anyways, but yeah. So here's it starts out with a lot of these yellow or orange bikes, and they're usually pretty easy to take out. You're right. You just zip right up to the side of them and hack at them. But the red ones, and you'll see them coming up here, get more difficult. This ends up this little bike mini game you get to play again later on in the gold saucer, which is kind of fun. I don't really like to like farm whatever the points are in the gold saucer in that way, but it can be a way to get some. I think it's like GP or something like that. But it's a way to get GP without or before chuggable racing becomes available, and that's where you can really rake in the GP. Yeah, anyways. Here, really just trying to make sure that the bikes don't smash into everybody else. Yeah, like I said, these red ones can be a little obnoxious. Sometimes I know it's kind of a good strategy to run into them, and like if you can pin them up against the wall, that works pretty well. But here, look at this. I'm really struggling here. I'm getting rusty in my old age. Crunch. I also noticed, and apologies to anybody who's watching the video series, but it's always kind of bugs me watching my old videos because I've got a lung condition, and I actually started up a medication a couple of years ago. It's been about 2 years now, and it's just been phenomenal. It's been a game changer. And so now I hear, like these old videos or the old videos, I'm constantly clearing my throat and constantly coughing, and I don't know, I always get annoyed, and so anybody that's willing to watch the videos with that is my hat's off to you. But all I can do now is just I guess look at the old videos and and kind of be shocked at how things have changed, right? And these days it's significantly better. Like I said, it was a game changer, and so now my new videos I'm not as bothered by. I'm really but it also kind of makes me want to redo old walkthroughs, and I have done that actually in the case of a few. I did what was that? I did Final Fantasy X. I did a pass through a while ago now, I guess it's been, but post new medication, and and I like it a lot better. I think it turned out better, and again, I just it's the coughing and clearing my throat. I'm just like, oh, every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, yeah, buddy. So, but what do you do? There just really wasn't another way beforehand. So anyway, so here is the is this the motorball? What is this guy's name? Uses a lot of fire attacks. Generally, all I did here, and he is actually weak against lightning. So again, I really wish that I would have had a couple more copies of the lightning materia here to just really go to town on him, but I didn't. I wanted to whiz through this, and jeepers. I think the motorball just drove by my house. Anyways. So yeah, here just getting them down, and using limit breaks whenever they come up. Honestly, it's funny. Cross Slash did about the same damage, maybe a little bit more, but right around the same damage as a basic lightning spell did. So again, really wish that I would have you know, had a couple more copies of that lightning material. So, but you know, I didn't. So what are you gonna do? Also, very fun fight in the remake. A lot more difficult, I would say, but I think that's fair to say for generally all of the fights. But it's just a different play style, right? Where it's active and it's, you know, a lot more moving around and knowing attack patterns, and you know, it's just kind of funny then watching the, you know, the original and how things have, or how they changed things so much. Which again, I actually honestly think it's a good thing. I think a lot of times, you know, Square we'll just do a remaster, right? Okay, we'll spruce up the graphics a little bit, but really, don't, you know, they usually don't change anything else. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of fun to, you know, replay even old games, but that have been kind of given a makeover. But with the remake, I feel like while yes, the first installment was, you know, essentially the same storyline anyway, but the combat system made it feel fresh, and I really appreciated that. So again, really looking forward to the, you know, the following installments. But yeah, we'll see. You know, my expectations are high, but it's pretty rare for Square to let me down. So am I a Square fanboy? Thanks. Might be now. I mean, hands down, you know, I should say for the sheer number of games that I enjoy, I think Square's at the top of the developers list. So. There, Tifa learns somersault. There's a star pendant. I think that's the, was it poison immunity accessory, I think. Well, what do we do now? Well, I can tell you what we do now. We prepare for the rest of the game. Sephiroth is alive. I have to settle the score. That'll save the planet. Seems like it. Alright, I'm going. And I have to say that I didn't like Barrett so much in the original, and boy, he is so good in the remake. Not only like the lines that they gave him, but his personality is fairly similar, but it does feel a little bit, he seems a little bit more likable. And maybe he just felt loutish and, you know, kind of bland in the original, but yeah, he's way better in the remake too. I think he's probably one of the, of all of the characters, he's, in my opinion, the most, or my opinion, was the most changed from this version of the game to the remake. So yeah, really was kind of surprised by that too. I just thought, I'm not gonna like him, and then it turns out, yeah, he's amazing, and he's, you know, you could see the battle with whatever that's, was it the first boss there? I think it was the first boss, where you're fighting from range. How, yeah, that was pretty critical for him to be ranged, but it's even more pronounced in the remake, right? Like you really, like, when you need Barrett for, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's always kind of fun to see too. But anyways, I'm gonna cut this one here. Hopefully this was an okay video. Again, I apologize for the gap that was here for a little while, but that's just YouTube being YouTube. So anyways, as always, hope this guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.